Hey guys, welcome back to Pro Gun. If you haven't done so, please click the subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate that. Today, I'm going to show you the Taurus G3 and why I feel this is the best budget 9mm everyday carry gun. So this is the cardboard box it comes in. Inside the box you get their lifetime warranty, and you get the standard lock. You get the owner's manual. You get the firearm that comes with one 15 and one 17 round magazine. It is unloaded. So this is the Taurus G3. This is the full-size 9mm. They also make a G3C, which is compact. This full-size has a 4-inch barrel, and the overall length of this is about 7.5 inches, and the height is 5.5 inches. This is almost identical in size to the Glock 19. So let's start off with aesthetics. As far as aesthetics go, this is a very nice looking gun. It's got a nice finish to it. This is available in different color configurations. They're available in black, blue, and they both have the option of a stainless steel slide. This is the gray with a stainless steel slide, and I like the way this looks. It's really a good looking gun. Now we're going to go to ergonomics. Ergonomics, this is really well made, and what I really like about this is that they have a little indentation here on both sides, and Taurus calls it the memory pad, and this is great for a new shooter to get used to muscle memory and keep their index finger on this indentation for safe gun handling. And also on each side there's a thumb rest, which makes it really nice and comfortable when you hold the firearm. Everybody doesn't have the means to go out and spend $600 on the Glock. So the reason I wanted to review this Taurus is because, you know, for 250 bucks, and you can get it cheaper. I've seen them for around $2.25. But for 250 bucks, this is a well-made, reliable firearm that you can use to defend yourself and your family, and use it as an everyday carry gun. There's not many of them, if any, in this price range. Now let's go with the controls. To take this apart, it works exactly like the Glock. It's got this little lever on both sides, okay? It's got the same type of slide release that the Glock has. And it does have a safety. It's not ambidextrous. It is on the left side. It's very low profile. I'm left-handed. It's really not easy for me to use as a left-handed person, but that's just me. They also have a built-in rail that you don't even get on the Glock 19. It's got the magazine release on the side here, which is slightly small, but it does eject the magazines very quickly. I really like that a lot, but it is kind of small, but that's not a deal breaker. And it is ambidextrous. You can move it to the right side if you wish. One thing to note as far as the sights go, if you get the gray or the black version, it's got a 3-dot sight. On the stainless steel slide, however, it's got a blackout sight in the rear and a white dot in the front, which for some people find 3 dots confusing or distracting, but we'll see how that works out when we go to shoot it. The stippling is really nice on the grip. Actually, if you put your hand on it, it's just enough to let you know that you're holding something and it won't slip out of your hand. And it actually is slightly aggressive. I don't know if carrying this inside the waistband, whether this is going to scrape up your skin or not. And then you have the trigger, It's got the same type of trigger as the Glock. It's got the hinge trigger here where you need to press both of them. And the way this trigger system works is you have your take up, then you hit the wall, and then you have the trigger brake and the reset. Right? And we'll see how this works at the range as well. The other thing to note is this is a double strike trigger. So the intention is that if you shoot around and it doesn't go off, you can pull the trigger again without having to rack the slide. But honestly, I don't think you'll ever need that. When you're shooting a center fire cartridge, if it doesn't go off the first time, it's not going to go off the second time. But for a new shooter, this is a fantastic way to dry fire train. If you're using a Glock, every time you pull the trigger, you have to pull the slide back. You could just keep pulling this trigger all day long, which is really nice for dry fire training. So overall, between the finish, the feel, the function, the controls, it's very well made. Comes with one 15 and one 17 round magazine, and the 17 round magazine does have a collar so that it stops you from jamming the whole magazine up into the gun. And these are Mekgar magazines. These are made in Italy. They're very well made. Another thing to note is that these magazines, it's also compatible with the Sig Sauer P226 and 229. So if you've got a Sig Sauer magazine for those models, they fit in the Taurus, which is a really nice option. The other thing they did is the dovetail sight in the back is also compatible with Glock. So if you purchase Glock night sights, they can easily be replaced with those. They also have a loaded shell indicator. This is actually called a witness window. You see the small hole there? If you have a round in the chamber, you can look through the hole and you can see the end of the shell. It's not the same as on some of the guns like the Smith & Wesson Shield, where you actually have a lever on the top that is slightly raised. It doesn't do that, but you can still tell that there's a round in the chamber. But like I said, everybody doesn't have the means to go out and buy a $600 gun. So Taurus designed this one so that people that can't afford a Glock can go out and buy a very reliable firearm that shoots well at a price range that people can afford, and it's reliable enough for it to be an everyday carry. So far, my thoughts are exactly that. This is a great budget gun that will serve you well. It's even though this is full size, it's still nowhere near as big as my full-size Glock 21. So you can still carry this comfortably inside the waistband with the 4-inch barrel. Like I said, they do offer it in a compact version with a 3.3-inch barrel, which makes it even smaller. But the problem with that is it's not going to be as accurate for long distance as this will be. We'll try out the trigger and we'll see how the sights work before I really sprinkle the holy water on this and tell you that it's a great budget gun for everyday carry. So why don't you come to the range with me and we'll see how it does. I like it. Hey guys, so we just got back from the range and this is how we did. And the first couple got away from me, but overall I'm pretty pleased with the tight grouping, and considering this is the first time I've ever fired this gun, or a 9mm for that matter. My normal everyday carry is either 45 or 10mm, so this is the first time I actually shot a 9, and it did very well. The thing I like about it is it's very easy to control. There's very little recoil. It's almost non-existent. And nice thing about it is, since there is no recoil on this, it's very easy to shoot single-handedly. I shot a few hundred rounds and I did not have one failure with either the 15 or 17 round magazine. One thing to note while I was shooting is that the take-up is very long. It takes a long time before you get to the wall. But once you hit the wall and you pull the trigger, it's a crisp trigger pull and a nice release. So the break is really nice and the release is smooth. It's a little spongy, but you know, you're also not spending $600 on this gun like you do on the Glock. It's the same exact size as the Glock 19. Like I said, if you have a budget and you can't spend the money, or you just don't want to spend the money, but you still want a gun that's reliable that you can use as an everyday carry, this is definitely it. I'm definitely convinced of that, and I would have no reservations carrying this firearm. The other thing to note is if you do get the stainless steel and it's got the blackout sights, I had a hard time focusing on the black background. The dots would have been nicer and it would have probably been easier. And it took a little bit of time to get used to just seeing the white dot in the front, but that could just be me. And that's probably why the first couple were all over the place, because I was still trying to learn how to adjust to this blackout sight. But other than that, overall, I mean, you're not going to find a gun of this quality in this price range. And if you were to buy a Glock 19, you'd spend, you know, probably $550 up to $600. And even the Smith & Wesson Shield is going to cost you a little over $400. So, you know, for under $250, I would definitely recommend this. Whether you're a new shooter or you just want to add another firearm to your collection. Like I said, it's very reliable. It's very, very comfortable. It's easy to control. It's a really nice shooter. You're not going to enter competitions with this gun, but you know, it's also not a $600 gun. But it does what it's supposed to do, and it does it well. And I would have no reservation using this as an everyday carry. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helps you make your decision. Thanks for watching.